Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay connected with us. Today, I've been guided to share a powerful message that I believe will resonate with many of you. This message comes from the story of Jonah, a prophet whose journey teaches us a lot about following God's plan and staying true to ourselves. I want to take this opportunity to really dive deep into that story and what it means for us today, especially when it comes to not compromising on the things that truly matter: your values, your faith, your energy, and your purpose. Let's start with the story of Jonah. For those of you who may not be familiar with it, Jonah was a prophet, someone who had a close relationship with God. God spoke to Jonah and gave him specific instructions. His mission was to go to a city called Nineveh and deliver a message from God, warning the people there to change their ways. But instead of doing what God asked, Jonah decided to run away from this task. He didn't want to follow the plan that God had laid out for him. He boarded a ship headed in the opposite direction, trying to escape his divine responsibility. As the story goes, while Jonah was on the ship, a huge storm broke out. The sailors on the ship were terrified and couldn't figure out why the storm was happening. They prayed and tried everything to calm the storm, but nothing worked. Finally, Jonah admitted that the storm was happening because he was running away from God's command. The sailors, desperate to survive, threw Jonah overboard into the sea. And that's when something incredible happened. Jonah was swallowed by a huge fish, where he stayed for 3 days and 3 nights. Now, let's pause here for a moment. Think about Jonah's situation. He was trying to run away from God's plan because he was scared, or maybe just didn't want to deal with the task at hand. How many times have we done something similar? How often do we feel that God is leading us in one direction, but out of fear, doubt, or discomfort, we try to go in the opposite direction? Jonah's story is a reminder that running from your purpose never leads to peace. In fact, it can lead to even more turmoil, just like the storm Jonah and the sailors faced. During his time inside the belly of the fish, Jonah prayed. He realized he couldn't escape God's plan, and instead of continuing to resist, he surrendered. After 3 days and nights, God had the fish spit Jonah out onto dry land. This was Jonah's second chance. He obeyed God's command, went to Nineveh, and delivered the message that God had given him. And because Jonah followed through, the people of Nineveh changed their ways, and God spared the city. This story brings us to today's message. Do not compromise. Don't compromise your time, energy, love, values, or beliefs, even when the pressure feels overwhelming or when you're tempted to take the easy way out. Stay true to yourself, and most importantly, stay true to where God is leading you. Jonah tried to take the easy way out by running away, but it didn't work. God's plan is always the best plan, even if it feels challenging in the moment. I feel like I'm speaking to someone right now who may be in a difficult situation, especially when it comes to relationships. You might be in a relationship that is not only draining your energy, but also blocking your blessings. God wants to move you to a better place, both spiritually and physically, but the relationship you're in is holding you back. This could be a romantic relationship, a friendship, or even a family relationship that's become toxic. You've likely seen signs or had dreams that are telling you to let go of this situation, but maybe you're hesitant or unsure about what to do next. My message to you is this: don't ignore those signs. God is trying to guide you, but He can only bless you when you let go of what's not meant for you. It's important to understand that sometimes we hold on to people or situations because of how long we've known them, the memories we've shared, or the connections we feel tied to. But not everything or everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Just because someone has been in your life for a long time doesn't mean they're meant to be part of your future. Holding on to toxic energy, whether it's from a person, a habit, or even a mindset, can prevent God's blessings from reaching you. Imagine standing in front of a closed door, waiting for it to open, when God is asking you to step away and move toward the open door He's prepared for you. You can't receive what's meant for you if you're clinging to what's no longer serving you. Think about the story of Abraham from the Bible. Abraham was willing to sacrifice his own son out of faith in God. He trusted that God's plan was greater than what he could understand. That's the kind of faith we're being called to have. Sometimes, God asks us to let go of something precious to us because He has something even better in store. It's not easy, but it's necessary. If you act in faith and trust that God knows what's best for you, He will elevate you to a place where you will be celebrated and honored. To the person who is listening and feels stuck in a toxic relationship or situation, know that God has something better for you. It may be hard to let go, especially when emotions are involved, but trust that by releasing what's holding you back, you're making space for the blessings God has waiting for you. You deserve to be in a space where you're loved, valued, and supported. You deserve to be in alignment with God's plan for your life. And that means not settling for less than what He has promised you. This is a message of faith, trust, and obedience. Jonah's story teaches us that running from God's plan only delays the blessings He has for us. When we stop compromising on the things that matter, our values, our faith, our energy, we allow God to work in our lives in ways we can't even imagine. So today, I encourage you to take a moment and reflect on the areas of your life where you may be compromising. Ask yourself, am I holding on to something that's blocking my blessings? Is there something or someone in my life that I need to release in order to step into the future God has planned for me? Remember, God's plan is always better than our own. He sees the bigger picture and knows what's best for you, even when you don't. Trust in His timing, trust in His process, and trust that if He's asking you to let go of something, it's because He has something far greater in store. The person you're connected to right now is only meant to be a temporary part of your journey, not your final destination. Sometimes we hold on to people because we fear being alone, starting over, or feeling insecure. But holding on to someone who isn't meant for you will keep you from meeting the person God has prepared for your future. God already has a plan for you, and that plan includes someone who is truly meant to be by your side. However, you won't be able to connect with that person if you are still holding on to the past and to someone who isn't right for you. I feel like someone reading this is meant to be with their future spouse, but something is holding them back. Maybe you already know who this person is, and maybe they're even praying for you right now. However, you're still in an unhealthy relationship, and that's stopping you from moving forward. While this new person is ready for you, you haven't fully let go of the toxic connection that is weighing you down. It's time to open your eyes and realize that God has chosen you for greatness. God has big things planned for your life, but you need to be willing to let go of what's holding you back. Letting go is never easy. When you finally decide to walk away from this unhealthy relationship, you may feel fear, doubt, and even regret. That's perfectly normal. Just because you're feeling these emotions doesn't mean you've made the wrong decision. It's just part of the process of letting go and trusting God's plan for your life. Right now, you might feel like you're in a relationship with the wrong person. Maybe this person is holding you back, or maybe they're even harming you in some way. God is telling you to listen to your heart and pursue the better life you deserve. Don't let fear control you. You might be afraid of what people will think. Maybe you're worried about what society will say if you walk away from this relationship. But God is calling you to step out of your comfort zone and face your fears. You have to trust that God has a new path for you, and it's better than the life you're living right now. You may be pretending to be happy in this relationship, but deep down, you know something isn't right. It's time to stop pretending and face the truth. You need to free yourself from the pain you're experiencing and step into the life God has planned for you. If you're seeing signs like the numbers 22, 919, or 111, take it as a sign from God that it's time to act. God wants to give you a fresh start, a new beginning where you no longer have to live in fear or uncertainty. When you let go of the toxic person in your life, God will guide you to the person who is truly meant for you. This new person is already out there, waiting for you, and there's even a chance you'll meet them this year or next. But first, you need to take that important step and let go of the person who is holding you back. The person you're with right now may be holding on to you with negative energy. They may be clouding your judgment and keeping you from seeing things clearly. But God wants to bless you with a partner who is part of His kingdom, someone who will uplift and support you. You might have had dreams or received messages about this, and now it's time to listen to those signs. God is speaking to you, and He's telling you that it's time to let go. You've been struggling, and it's possible that you've even faced financial hardships because of this relationship. But this isn't the life you were meant to live. God created you for a life of abundance and joy, and it's time to reclaim your power. Stop letting someone else use your strength against you. The person you're with knows how powerful you are, and they may be trying to keep you under their control because they fear losing that power. But now is the time to wake up and take back your strength. God is calling you to step into the power He gave you and stop letting fear or control hold you back. God has heard your prayers and seen your tears. He knows what you've been going through, and He wants you to know that you've been chosen to receive His blessings. You might not feel perfect, and you might think you don't deserve these blessings. But God chose you because of your faith and persistence. Now, it's your turn to take action. Let go of what's holding you back and open yourself up to the wonderful life that God has planned for you. You can't receive the blessings God has for you if you're still clinging to something that's no longer serving you. Fear is what's keeping you stuck in this relationship. You may be afraid of being alone, of starting over, or of what others will think. But until you let go of these fears, you won't be able to receive the abundance that's meant for you. Maybe you're 34 or 32 years old, and certain numbers like 11, 16, or 27 might be significant to you. These could be signs from God, urging you to move forward. God wants to bless you, but you need to clear the path first. You need to let go of the person who isn't part of your divine destiny. You were meant for greatness. Maybe you were meant to be a leader, a business owner, or someone who travels the world. But right now, you're choosing to stay with someone who wasn't chosen by God for you. It's time to allow God's will to guide your life and to open yourself up to the partner He has prepared for you. Trust that God's plan is far better than anything you could imagine, and that includes the person He has chosen to be your life partner. If you've noticed any physical signs, like discomfort or unease after spending time with this person, take that as a clear message that they aren't right for you. God is offering you the desires of His heart, but you need to make the right choice. You need to take action now, because if you don't, the situation could get worse. You could face bigger consequences when everything falls apart. God's blessings are waiting for you, but you need to do your part. Let go of the person who's holding you back and trust that God will lead you to the right one. This is your time to step into the life you deserve. Don't let fear, doubt, or insecurity stop you. Trust in God's plan, follow His guidance, and let go of the past so you can embrace the future He has for you. Letting go of someone who is holding you back is never easy, especially when you care about them or when you've built a connection. But sometimes, moving on is exactly what you need to do in order to grow and step into the next chapter of your life. God has a bigger plan for you, and to fully embrace it, you have to trust Him. Trusting God means believing that even when you don't see the whole picture, He does, and He knows what's best for you. There are times when we hold on to people because we're afraid of being alone or starting over. You may feel that letting go of someone will leave you with nothing. However, holding on to someone who isn't aligned with your purpose can actually cause more harm than good. God's plan for you is filled with love, growth, and blessings. But if you stay connected to someone who's holding you back, you'll never experience the fullness of those blessings. It might feel like you're stuck right now. Maybe you've been thinking about all the things you want in life, like a nice house, a new car, or the chance to travel and explore the world. These desires are natural and good, and God wants you to have them. But the person you're holding on to could be the very reason why you haven't been able to achieve these things yet. This person may be blocking your blessings, not because they mean to, but because they aren't aligned with where God is trying to take you. Think of it like trying to climb a mountain with a heavy backpack. The more weight you carry, the harder it is to reach the top. The person you're holding on to could be that heavy backpack, slowing you down and making your journey harder than it needs to be. God wants you to lighten your load so you can climb higher and reach the mountaintop He's prepared for you. God's plan for you is one of success, peace, and abundance. But sometimes you have to make the difficult decision to step away from certain people. It's not that this person is necessarily a bad person, but they may not be the right person for you right now. They may be going through their own struggles and issues, and by staying close to them, you could end up getting caught in the same problems they're about to face. In the Bible, Jonah was told by God to go to Nineveh, but he chose to run away instead. As a result, a storm hit the ship he was on, and everyone on board was in danger. Jonah's decision to run from God's plan didn't just affect him, it affected everyone around him. Sometimes, we find ourselves in a similar situation. By staying connected to someone who isn't following God's plan, we may end up facing storms that were never meant for us. These storms can bring stress, confusion, and unnecessary struggles into our lives. If you continue to hold on to this person, you may end up suffering alongside them. You may share in their pain and difficulties, even though those challenges aren't meant for you. God doesn't want you to suffer. He wants you to live in peace, joy, and abundance. But to do that, you have to trust Him and let go of the things and people that are no longer serving you. You may be afraid to let go because you don't want to be alone, or because you're afraid of what the future holds. But God has already planned your success. He's already paved the way for you to live like royalty. You are a child of God, and He wants you to step into your power. But as long as you stay attached to someone who isn't aligned with your future, you'll keep giving away your power. You'll keep missing out on the blessings that God has for you. Letting go doesn't mean that you don't care about this person. It simply means that you are choosing to prioritize your own growth and well-being. You can love someone and still recognize that they aren't helping you grow. You can care about someone and still know that it's time to move on. By letting go, you are creating space in your life for the right people to enter. You are opening the door for someone who will support your growth and walk with you on your journey to fulfilling your purpose. Your spirit guides, or angels, are watching over you and trying to guide you in the right direction. They want to save you from unnecessary pain, but they can only help you if you're willing to help yourself. You have to take that first step and make the decision to move on. Once you do, you'll start to notice how things in your life begin to shift. Doors that were once closed will start to open. Opportunities that seemed out of reach will suddenly become available. This is because you've aligned yourself with God's plan, and now you're ready to receive the blessings He's been waiting to give you. You are meant for greatness. You are meant to make an impact in this world. But you can't do that if you're surrounded by people who are holding you back. The people you surround yourself with should uplift you, inspire you, and help you become the best version of yourself. If the person you're holding on to isn't doing that, then it's time to let them go. You deserve to be around people who encourage your growth, who believe in your dreams, and who are aligned with your vision for the future. God has great things in store for you, but in order to access them, you have to trust Him completely. This means letting go of fear, letting go of doubt, and letting go of people who are no longer meant to be in your life. Trust that God knows what He's doing, and trust that He's leading you towards something better. He has already prepared your success, but you have to be willing to step into it. Letting go can be scary, but it's also freeing. It allows you to move forward without the weight of the past holding you down. It gives you the chance to start fresh and create a new chapter in your life. You deserve to live a life of abundance, joy, and peace, and God is ready to give you all of that. All you have to do is trust Him, follow His guidance, and have the courage to move forward. So take a deep breath and let go. Trust that God's plan for you is greater than anything you could imagine. Trust that He is leading you towards a future filled with love, success, and happiness. And most importantly, trust that you have the strength to move forward, even when it's hard. Your future is bright, and God is with you every step of the way.